from. So here we can see the Scottish flag. The white cross and the blue background is the Scottish flag. So we're going to start off. Here is a photo of me and all my family. So this photo was taken in Scotland, in my house, before I came to Spain. So here's me, and here's my little brother, he's called Cameron, my little sister, who's called Caitlin, and my mother, who's called Shona, and my father, who's called Stephen. So there's a photo of me and my family. Here we have a map, yeah? And here you can see Scotland. Do we see the Scottish flag? Yeah, this is Scotland, this part. And down here we have England, and here we have Wales, and up here, this little bit that's different colours, you see the different colours? This part here is called Northern Ireland. It's in the north of Ireland. And these four countries, Scotland, England, Wales and Northern Ireland, are part of what we call the United Kingdom. So these four countries act almost as one country. And Ireland is joined to Northern Ireland, but it's a separate country. It's like Spain and France, they're joined, but they're different countries, yeah? So Scotland on the map here is up here. And because it's an island, so see, it's an island, there's all water, it's surrounded by water, so it gets a lot of rain, and it's really cold and windy, but it's a very beautiful country. So we're going to see two different cities. One of the cities is Edinburgh, which is down here, and it's the capital city of Scotland, and up here is Aberdeen. So we're going to see some photos of Aberdeen as well. So we'll start off with Edinburgh, which is the capital city of Scotland. It's quite a big city, and it's very old. So you can see here the old churches and the old buildings and the monuments. And in Edinburgh there's lots of old museums where you can go and learn about different things from ages and ages and ages ago, like Edinburgh Castle. So this is a castle that's up on the hill in Edinburgh. And everywhere in Edinburgh you look, you see the castle. So years and years and years and years ago, way back, older than your grannies and your granddads, ages ago, Scotland and England were two very powerful countries, but they weren't a United Kingdom, they were separate countries. And Scotland and England used to fight each other. They would have big long swords and they would fight each other to see who could get the most castles. And if you had the most castles, you were the strongest and the most powerful country. So this is a big part of Scotland because years ago the kings and queens would come and they'd stay in Edinburgh Castle. Now Edinburgh Castle is like a museum, so you can go and see all the old things inside Edinburgh Castle. So that's quite an important part of Scottish history. Here, these are some photos of Aberdeen University. So here you can see it's an old building as well. You see all the old stone and the monuments, so you can see all that. So this is where I go to university. This is way up north in Scotland. We saw it on the map way up here. So it's really cold and windy and it rains all the time. But look, you can see in this photo that it does get sunshine sometimes, but it's normally still very cold. I study Spanish and politics at the University of Aberdeen. It's a very interesting university, it's so old. Here we have some funny pictures, yeah? They're quite strange. So we'll start off with this photo up here. Everybody see the photo of the men? And they're wearing a funny outfit, aren't they? They're wearing funny clothes. And you can see they have on a skirt, yeah, which we call a kilt. Yeah, in Scotland this is called a kilt. You see everybody wearing these? And it's very common for men to go dressed like this when they get married. So when they get married to their partner, they'll wear this kilt. Yeah? So this is very traditional in Scotland, and almost all the men own a kilt. And you can see here, all the men in their kilts here. And this is music. They're playing music. Yeah? So these big instruments that they've got are called bagpipes, and they're big, big instruments, and they make a funny noise, but they're very interesting to listen to. And you see they've got drums, and this is what we call a pipe band. So they play all around Scotland at big festivals and big parties. You see a big pipe band. And every summer in Scotland, every village has what we call a Highland Games. And in the Highland Games, you'll see people playing bagpipes and pipe bands, and you see different sports, like this, what we call a tug of war. And the men in the village will try and see who's the strongest man in the village. And if you look at this photo, you see all the men have on different coloured kilts, yeah? You see that this one's blue, and this one's red, and this one's green. Yeah, they're all different. And that's because years and years and years ago, back when they were fighting over the castles, the men would have on different coloured kilts. And then you'd be able to tell what family they were from, because every family had a different coloured kilt. So all the people in the blue were the same family, and all the people in the red were a different family. So now, all the men have a different colour, depending on what family they've come from. And you see here, some girls dancing. This is traditional Scottish Highland dancing, and they'll compete at all the Highland Games, and they'll do shows, and boys and girls your age will go and they'll dance. So this is what we call Highland dancing. And here, down the bottom, we see a different sport that the men do, and they're trying to see who's very strong, because you see this long piece of wood, they've got to pick it up and throw it, and they've got to try and get it to flip all the way over. So it's very difficult, and only the strong men can do it. So they try and see who's the strongest man in the village. Here, we have some delicious food and drinks that you get in Scotland. So starting here, we have Iron Brew. Have you ever seen this in Spain? No? But everywhere in Scotland you see Iron Brew. It's very, very common in Scotland to see Iron Brew. And when you have your dinner, you can have some Iron Brew. And you see here, all the Iron Brew bottles have on a different colour of tartan that was on the kilts, yeah? The pattern on the bottles, they're all different. It's very traditional in Scotland to drink Iron Brew. And you can see that it's bright orange. Yeah, you see the orange? And that's allegedly because people in Scotland have ginger hair. They have orange hair in Scotland. You don't see many people with ginger hair here, but in Scotland you see a few people with ginger hair. Here we have a photo of fish and chips, and delicious. Everybody likes fish and chips in Scotland. Here you have the fish that's fried, and it's served with chips, and they put it in the newspaper, they wrap it up, and then you take it home, and then you eat it when you get home. And the newspaper keeps it hot, so you can eat it when you're at home. Very delicious. Here, this looks a bit funny, doesn't it? This is what we call haggis. Haggis. And haggis is very, very, very traditional to Scotland. And they take the stomach of a sheep, and they put all the different meats inside the stomach of the sheep, and then they cook it inside the stomach, and then you cut it open, and you get haggis, which is delicious. But all the boys and girls think, oh, that doesn't sound very nice. The stomach of a sheep. I don't want to eat that. That doesn't sound delicious. So the mummies and daddies tell them that there's a little animal, just a little animal, that runs round the hills in Scotland, up and down the hills. So the mummies and daddies tell them that there's an animal called the haggis, so that they don't think they're eating the stomach of a sheep, because that doesn't sound very nice. And so that's served with what we call neeps and tatties. But you'll know these as potatoes, and turnip is a very traditional vegetable from Scotland that grows in the ground, and it grows where it's a little bit colder, so it's good to grow turnip in Scotland. Here you see it's served with a glass of whisky, which is a photo here of some whisky. And whisky's not very nice. I don't like whisky. But all the old men drink whisky. and it's originated in Scotland. It's from Scotland, and that's what all the old men like to drink in Scotland. Here we have some photos of the schools that I went to. So when I was your age, I went to a primary school, just like you. I went to primary school, and this is called Markinch Primary School, which is the primary school that I went to when I was a little girl. And here, this is what might seem a little bit strange, because in Spain, when you come to school, you just wear your normal clothes. Everybody wears different clothes, and you wear your normal clothes. But in Scotland, all the boys and girls wear a uniform. So here you can see a photo of 4 boys and girls wearing the uniform. So every school has a different colour. So some people wear blue to school, some people wear green to school, but my primary school wore this burgundy colour. So that's the uniform that I wore when I was your age at school. And here we have a photo of the high school that I went to in a small village called Cooper. And here, these are some boys and girls that I went to school with, and they're wearing the uniform that I wore to high school when I was 11. I went to high school until I was 17. So there's a photo of the uniform, which might look a bit strange because you guys don't have uniform here. Yeah, so that's a little bit different. Has anybody got any questions?